We never imagined that 4.5 years later, we'd be talking about. I'm sorry I taped this like 14 times, and I just.
What's good, my fellow deplorables? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to the channel. Late night comedians are in turmoil today as new advertising revenue numbers have came out, and it's not looking good for the big three late night talk shows: Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and Stephen Colbert. Their shows are on the brink of extinction. This is because they are not funny and they have a woke victim politic agenda, and nobody wants to watch that nonsense. People don't want to be lectured. People don't want to be lectured to when they're trying to watch late night comedy.
I want to get serious for a minute if I could, because there's a small but still sizable group of people who are choosing not to vaccinate their children.
People want to enjoy a funny show, and these three individuals don't have it. They don't have a funny show. Their hatred for Donald Trump has ruined their television shows. You got to give it to Trump. He can turn the woke into crybabies, and he did just that with these three late night talk shows. The numbers are out, and they are not good. They are terrible. In 2018, 7 late night programs: NBC's Tonight, and Late Night, CBS, Late Show, and The Late Late Show, ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Comedy Central's Daily Show, and NBC's Saturday Night Live, drew more than $698 million in advertising in 2018. According to Vivix, a tracker of ad spending, by 2022, the total came to $412 million, a drop of approximately 41% over 5 years.
The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster.
The late night talk shows, the networks, are not blaming this on their hosts' inability to be funny or the fact that they have gone completely political and have isolated more than 50% of the country, who obviously has common sense and understands that Donald Trump was a much better president than the Alzheimer's patient we have in the Oval Office today. But they blame this on the Rona pandemic. They blame this on the China virus, and that is very typical. You can get away with this for maybe one quarter, a couple quarters of bad ratings and terrible advertising numbers, but eventually the cat's out of the bag. Nobody's watching your terrible show, and eventually these guys will get fired. That's the way free market works, and it's a great thing. Capitalism is a great thing. Eventually these networks will realize that they screwed up. Leftist woke politics don't sell. Nobody wants to watch that. Purple-haired liberal teenagers don't have money to spend. So they will realize this, but it may be too late. The pendulum always swings back. Right now, with cable television, the pendulum is far left. Eventually and hopefully, it'll swing back. But maybe I'm wrong. But I have faith in capitalism. I have faith in the free market. And eventually, money talks, and they will realize they have to emulate a successful talk show host, a successful late night talk show host. And that is Greg Gutfeld is dominating late night talk. And there's one big differentiating factor between Greg Gutfeld, Fox News show, and Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert. And that's Greg Gutfeld is on cable television. And most of those other shows are on public access network television. You can get those shows with an antenna on the top of your house. You have to pay for Fox News, and Greg Gutfeld's show is still dominating these woke liberal clowns. He is dominating late night television. And to be honest with you, I don't even think Gutfeld's show is that funny. It's not that funny, but it is not woke. And people are yearning for a comedy late night show that is not woke, that is not pushing identity victim politics. And that's what Gutfeld does, and he's absolutely dominating. You gotta love it. But with Trump out of office, Colbert's liberal audience continues to shrink and is right now sitting at about 2.1 million viewers on average in 2022, shedding 27% of its peak audience and losing his title as king of late night to none other than Greg Gutfeld. Gutfeld's show is producing about 2.4 million viewers on average. Jimmy Fallon was averaging 3 million viewers in 2016. 3 million viewers in 2016. Remember, Fallon had Trump on and he rubbed his hair. He was apolitical. He didn't delve into the woke politics. Well, now Fallon is averaging about 1.4 million viewers, losing 60% of his audience. In 2016, Jimmy Kimmel Live averaged 2.2 million viewers. In 2022, he plummeted to 1.5 million, losing more than a third of his audience. The Late Show, starring James Corden, has lost 36% of its viewers since 2016, now averaging an audience of 819,000, under the million mark. NBC's Late Night with Stephen Myers has slashed nearly half of its viewers between 2016 and 2022, going from roughly 1.5 million to 786,000 viewers. That's half the audience. That is a collapse of epic proportion. HBO's Late Week Tonight with John Oliver has lost over 60% of its viewers since 2017. Despite these shows losing their audiences, losing their advertising money, they continue to win Emmys, they continue to win awards, and they continue to be heralded in the liberal mainstream media. Now, this can be attributed to only one thing, and that's their politics. They're woke, they're liberal. They play the identity politic game. That's why they are beloved by the mainstream media. But one thing never lies, and that is the dollar bill, baby. That dollar, that guap, that cheddar, that cheese, it never lies. And eventually these networks will have to come to the realization that woke politics do not sell. And they will model these shows after what Greg Gutfeld and Fox News are doing. It may take a couple years. They may try to salvage it and see if they can rekindle the fire during the upcoming 2024 election. That's my opinion. I think they will try to emulate the numbers they saw in 2016 during the 2024 election. I don't think it works. I think the ship has sailed. Cable TV is suffering as a whole. And then you add on top of that the woke identity politics. And it is a recipe for disaster. It is a recipe for failure. It is a recipe for these late night talk shows to go out of business, literally. You cannot sustain the type of devastation that these shows are seeing. They are losing viewers and losing money, and that is 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 is synonymous with going out of business. Let me know in the comments, are you still watching these late night TV shows? Are you watching Greg Gutfeld? What are you watching for your late night comedy? Love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.